that'll be served with a strawberry puree.
Oof.
And I also have hazelnut gelato and mandarin orange sorbet.
I'm going to go with B, the fruit.
The crostata.
The crostata.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm going to have, you said the vanilla.
Vanilla rum Bavarian cream cake.
That one.
Excellent.
Give it a go.
Yes, thank you, gentlemen.
Give it a go.
Thank you.
Eddie would go.
Yes, Eddie would go. Eddie would be there.
Yeah.
No, I get to in touch with Cindy. I do think once we get it conceptualized, getting Paul engaged, because he has evolved a good relationship with Ben. As I said, Ben showed up I was surprised that Ben showed up. Especially since you would think he and Paul were not related at all.
At that level.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that he would look at Paul as being evildoer.
On the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, evildoer.
Well, I think Ben has the ability to separate that. You know, the person from the issue at hand.
Paul told me that Ben had actually given them the best advice, you know, when they talked about his mom and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Ben does a lot of incredible things. I mean, we got this VA hospital because of Ben. Yeah. He followed it, he hawked it, he buried dogs at Jacksonville, dropped the ball, missed the application date.
Boom.
And he got it.
He was right there.
Fucking incredible.
That's sweet.
Oh, and he drives VA veterans over to Gainesville to the VA hospital. He does all the honor guard routines and stuff like that. He's a really nice guy. Interesting. So where are your kids? Where do they live?
Oh, one's in Tallahassee, the other's in Atlanta.
What do they do?
Yeah, going to school.
Go to school?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. One's on the slow program, goes to school a quarter and works a quarter, goes to school a quarter, works a quarter.
No hurry.
Makes money. No, he's not in any hurry. He refuses to take money. So.
What does he do?
Works in a restaurant.
Does what?
Yeah, studying electrical engineering, working in a restaurant.
Is he a waiter, a bartender, or what?
He's night manager. School in the day and.
Two of my sons to augment their income are bartenders.
Hey, you can make good money bartending.
Yeah.
You know, some of the kids at the restaurant that he's night manager at, they pull down 55, 65 a year in bartending.
Wow.
Good money.
Very good money.
For a night job, darn right. Not bad at all.
And the one in Tallahassee is what, FSU or?
Yeah, FSU.
Studying what?
Soon to go to University of Florida. Veterinary.
Oh, vets, that's right.
Yeah.
You told me that.
Yeah, she gets out. This is her last year and she's off to vet school.
Wow.
Kentucky.
Little vets, little doggy,
Big animal.
Big animal.
Big animal vet.
Wow.
Yeah, big animal vet. Surprised me.
How'd you get into that?
You just stumble into it, I guess, and you know, you get into the field and you start looking where can you have the most impact. And I think she sees 1 million little animal vets, and she also sees the USDA scholarships for big animal vets.
Oh, are there really?
Yeah, there's 100% rides.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's huge. You know, but damn vet school, Tom, is $300 grand.
Oh, I understand.
It's enormous. It's enormous.
So we have a dearth of big animal vets, huh?
You got more coming.
Right. Well, if you
Got more
encourage it
coming.
with free tuition.
Yeah, you know, they take them into service. They put them into their service for 7 years. You know,
So
whether you go to work.
It's like a conscription program.
Yeah, whether you go to work for CDC or whether you go to work for the agricultural department, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but they're paying you at the same time you're working. So
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a good gig. It's a good
Creating
gig.
your own private practice.
Yeah, so you know, she gets done. Let's see, 32. She'll be done, no debt, and you know, can go do what she wants to do.
It's a long journey.
Yeah, from the time you're 18?
Yeah, it's a long journey.
14 years, long time.
And the bartender's studying what? Engineering.
Electrical engineering.
Electrical engineering.
Yeah. Wants to build circuits.
Is it really?
That's all he wants to do.
Crazy moves.
Yep. How they get so focused. Just want to do that. Don't want to do this. Just want to do that.
They go to high school here, or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fletcher and Stanton.
Boy, Stanton, Paxton, they've done well.
Yeah, they've done all right. Good magnet programs.
Unbelievable.
How does St. John's do on the magnets?
We don't have magnets.
No?
Our whole place is a magnet.
Is a magnet, yeah.
I mean, we're top in every score in the region.
Yeah, I look at when the listings come out in the paper, it's always St. John's, St. John's, St. John's, St. John, 2-0. St. John's, St. John,
No,
2-0.
even, you got St. John's, Clay, Nassau, those do, all three do well.
I think.
And part of it is because you have different social economics, obviously, but not that different. I mean, we have a lot of West St. Augustine is, pretty.
I would think if you look at, your percentage or ratio to population, I bet you're right on it.
And the other thing, of course, that I think makes a big difference is, family involvement. You have a lot of parents involved.
It's imperative. Melissa goes through that. I'm waiting on an email from her now. Parent-teacher conference, end of the year.
It's amazing. Shannon has moved over. Here to the Ponte done incredibly well. Her grades are up 10 points. I kid her. I say to her, listen, you move over here and you became smart.
Look good.
No, she became interested.
And she just got selected. Thank you.
Both look wonderful.
Wow.
You're going to enjoy that. I had that last night.
Yeah,
that was good.
I didn't want to,
I
I didn't want to give him too a preview.
No, I started to jump into that again. It was that good.
Looks like my heart.
Well, the red wine
It's
is
not
going to
moving.
counteract,
This is great.
Yes.
Joey, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And she made the travel soccer team, so she's all psyched about that.
What does she play at soccer?
She's the sweeper.
The sweeper.
The sweeper. That's the quarterback, yeah.
Fullerton's kids play soccer. Don's into
Really?
big time soccer.
Wow.
Big time
Well,
soccer.
the storm is a big deal in Ponte Vedra.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
Getting on the storm is a big deal. And we have an incredible soccer program. I mean, the girls were state champs, I don't know, 2 or 3 times the last 4 or 5 years.
Nice's got a good program all the way around.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how the new high school, Ponte Vedra, starts.
Mm-hmm.
How they're going to do. All the juniors at Nice are returning to Nice as seniors. So the Ponte Vedra High School starts without a senior class. They have sophomores and juniors.
Wow.
But they have no seniors.
It's going to be different. It's going to be way different dynamics.
Same thing at Creekside. We have 2 new high schools over here this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
I would think that'd make the school board happy. Have less need to take vast sums of money. I forget who I was talking to today. They were talking about Joe Collins at
Duke.
At whatchamacallit?
What?
Joe's project. What's the one out on
What,
210?
Joe Jr. or Jody? Which one are you talking to? Papa
No.
or son?
No, Papa.
This is Duke.
Hmm.
He's in North Carolina right now. There's fucking back views.
What?
I talked to him today.
I forget who I was talking to about it. They said, man, they just got into him so bad.
Oh, they killed him.
Just so bad.
I couldn't save it. Now what's happened, and I got to get a better understanding of this, and this is something that will help you guys too. I've been pushing the school board to refinance all their bonds from 15 to 30 years. Getting a lot of resistance from the school board members.
Why?
Why am I getting resistance? Or why do I want to extend it?
No, why? They don't understand?
They don't understand.
Okay.
Now, Tallahassee, in order to mitigate some of the impact of the
Mm-hmm.
education, has allowed some of the 2% money to be used for operation, which makes my argument to refinance very compelling. Because in the first year for St. Johns County, it throws off about $14 million in positive cash flow.
They should get that.
Well, I'm hoping Joyner's going to get it.
I only met with Joyner once. I wasn't impressed.
He's all for progress. It's the change he doesn't like.
Mm.
Yeah. You know, I think bricks and mortar schools are a thing of the past. Unfortunately, the teachers union doesn't.
How are you going to fund?
The teachers union doesn't feel the same.
How are you going to fund? How are you going to continue to fund brick and mortar schools? You can't.
How are the desserts, gentlemen?
Very nice, thank you.
Thank you.
They're so bad I could have another.
Well, you know,
But I won't.
Feel like, you know, you never know.
Nope, not going to do it.
Yes.
Not going to do it. They truly are a thing of the past. Somebody flushed the toilet.
What is there?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I've never heard that before.
Neither have I.
But it's definitely water running through.
That's definitely something.
You know, I usually have those, those regulators or the, because my house is so old, I don't have that on my hot water line.
Well, you have the tank up here, don't you?
It's on the ground floor. And
You have full of chain?
no, we bring buckets.
Yeah.
We bring buckets from the pool.
When I was in the Caribbean, some days we had to bring the buckets from the pool.
Mm-hmm. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it in the least. I'm going to be out the month of December.
Where are you going?
I'll be in Hawaii.
Are you really? What are you doing? Just relaxing?
Mm-hmm. Time off. Go every year.
Do you really? I've never been to Hawaii. For my son's wedding present, number 3 son, I sent him to Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
It's a place I've never been. It's supposed to be pretty.
It's pretty.
Long way though. So if you go for a month, it's not so bad.
Yeah, that's the point. You know,
if you go for a week, you spend 2.5 days fucking traveling.
That's exactly it, and another day recuperating.
Right.
Because I mean,
both ways.
You know,
Both sides.
it's 17 to 20 hours.
Yeah.
That's presuming everything's on time.
I don't have a desire to fly that much anymore.
I don't. I'll do it for that, and just because of the surfing. But other than that, I couldn't care.
Yeah, my number 1 son's a surfing nut.
The one out in California, good place to be.
And then they have a place down in Mexico. He goes away. He's a borderline extreme surfer. He's not at the extreme yet, but he's
getting there. Mm-hmm.
He's not mentally well. He'll probably become extreme.
Anytime, any place, any wave. Mm-hmm. I'd like to meet him.
I don't have to arrange that. Big kid. He's a big boy.
Is he?
No, my boys are big.
Oh, you're not a small guy.
No.
What are you, 6'3", 6'4"?
6'2".
Okay.
I'm shrinking.
We all know.
Getting older, we're shrinking.
I started at 5'10". I may be all of 5'9" now, maybe.
What does George think about all this restructuring stuff? What's he say to you?
He thinks it's going to be difficult.
All right. What it is?
It's going to be very difficult to do.
Now, is he saying that because he's an attorney? It's easy to say it's difficult, and then.
No, George takes, I think, after working with him for 5 years, I think he takes more pride in getting it done, and then moving on to the next one.
I definitely agree with that.
After a while, it gets stale.
Right.
I think he's just about up to here on Twin Creek.
What's going on with Peter Gold, and what's going on with all the rest of the fucking
Haven't heard
bullshit?
a peep. Haven't heard a peep. Art's been out. He was up in New York dealing with his New York fund issues that he had because the crazy guys got down there running it.
Right.
I haven't heard from him. I've got to assume that.
I mean, what happens with the gold / piece? I mean, what's going to happen there? How do we fold that back into here? I mean, you're the contract party, but that's a different issue.
Bank Atlantic has it.
Right.
I've been told anything from 19 million to 27 million. Those are the ranges that I've heard from different parties. is what they will sell the piece for.
Sell the notes.
Hmm?
Sell the notes. Because they don't have possession yet.
Mm-mm.
And how does Art feel about that?
He'd like to find a way to buy it.
And that's hard. Why?
It's not hard. I think it's a timing issue.
Right.
I think he wants to wait until the last minute because there's no real takers for big pieces right now.
I think you've seen a lot of vulture funds, and then you get vulture funds out there. I understand it's got land use. I mean, land use is God in Florida now.
It is, but here's the key, until we strip down, until you get me approval to strip down the DRI obligation, the financial obligation to build that land use out, it's not worth anything. It's a tree farm. As it sits today, unless those obligations are reduced.
What's the burden per lot?
Today?
Yeah.
$28,000.
Wow.
It's huge.
It is huge. Now, why did you all agree to that in the first place?
It served a purpose. The purpose was height of the market. When the deal was done, it was 04. Got the final approvals, still height of the market. Art had just geared up his entire company. Before, it used to be just Transeastern, one roof. And the whole company, all of its assets, all of its activities were known as Transeastern. So in August of 04, he took all the individual disciplines and he spread them out. The Transeastern was really the home building company. So that became the home building company. Falcon.
Did he separate the liabilities at the same time?
Yes. Separated everything. Falcon Land and Development.
Right.
That was the residential and commercial and multifamily development arm.
Right.
Just did acquisitions and development.
Right.
Falcon Brokerage. 2 arms. The Widows and Orphans Fund. That took in.
Is he investing for Widows and Orphans, really?
Widows and Orphans Fund, Friends and Family Fund, and then the General Brokerage Fund. That was number 3. A cemetery and mausoleum group. A cable and communications group.
Wow.
A commercial high-rise building company. All of these were under that Transeastern umbrella.
Right.
Art understands the dollar. He knows how dollars move.
Right.
He saw the peak of residential company, people were buying residential companies. So he separated everything so somebody could get their arms around Transeastern. He filled the coffers of Transeastern with 55 single-family residential lots, which was part of Twin Creeks. Twin Creeks was 2,000 of the 55,000. But having Twin Creeks, along with 5 other projects in Florida of like size, plus the rest, Orlando, Naples, Fort Myers, and...
What's happening to all those right now?
Oh, Art got some of them back, and others have been worked out. But 5 others allowed him to sell Transeastern for $850 million.
No, I knew he flipped it for an incredible amount of money.
So he got a huge amount of money. Took a 70... It's either $70 or $120 million note back. I forget what the final was.
From whom? From Tucson? Or?
From Tucson. Mm-hmm.
So that's garbage now.
Yeah, that's gone.
Yeah.
So
Secured note or?
I don't know. I don't know. I was not part of the negotiation. I imagine he secured it with property.
Yeah,
Art's not a fool. Not a dummy. And I don't know whether that property was a first or a second. Because remember they went to Deutsche Bank. You got Deutsche Bank to give them $600 million.
See, I still think Deutsche Bank is fucked because of the theory of equitable subordination.
They're toast.
Right.
They're gone. They're out of the picture. They're completely gone. Not a thing they can do. Well, bottom line is...
So they still, at the table, or they left the table?
Deutsche?
Yeah.
Gone.
Wow. So who's left?
Well, you've got Twin Creeks.
Yeah, but that's Falcon's.
You've got Cork. And you got Gould, and you got Bank Atlantic.
Now what's Cork got?
Cork took on all the obligations of Tucson.
Right.
Not only on Twin Creeks, but all the other Tusa deals, many not in Florida. Arizona, Nevada. Mm-hmm. He was Tusa's go-to guy for a long time. And he got stuck. He got stuck.
So where do you see this whole thing shaking out?
Big picture?
Yeah.
Somebody's going to come in and make Cork an offer. You're not going to be enough for him to get out whole, but it'll be enough for him to say, okay, it's worth getting out.
How much does he have?
Don't know. I can find out easy enough.
No, I mean, I'm just, everything comes back down to control, Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Well, control on Twin Creeks, that comes through Bank Atlantic.
Mm-hmm.
Getting Cork's 1,400 single-family lots.
Right.
That's through Bank Atlantic. If we don't get control of it, we just do the DRI without it. Right. It's still DRI size.
Right.
And Cork can go do whatever he can do with 1,400 lots.
So what happens if we do, if you do spin that off, which I think is actually a pretty good strategy at this point, and all the obligations that associates that on a pro rata basis,
mm-hmm.
and leave him with the bag?
Hey, you leave him with his pro rata share, which is unusually high.
Exorbitantly.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't you do that?
You spread that on 1,400 lots, you can't do that.
Right.
I mean, he can't do it today, let alone at a reduced
right.
rate.
Why wouldn't you do that?
Oh, you would. That would put you in a much better negotiating position with him after we break the DRI up, exclude him out.
One of the questions we're going to do with George is the tactical question of revamping the DRI to just that portion.
Mm-hmm. Pro rata everything out.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll help.
We'll like that, there's no question about that.
And that'll help create leverage.
Huge.
On Cork.
And why would you care?
I don't care for Falcon, but
I'm talking about from Falcon's perspective.
They don't care.
Right.
Or they have that piece. Actually, having that piece hurts them because that's 1,400.
That's the southern piece, right?
That is the center part of the southern piece.
Right.
The Falcon remainder of the southern piece is the smaller lots along the railroad.
Right. I think that strategy should be a carve out. Thank you.
Thank you, Joey.
You're welcome. Well, gentlemen, what else?
No, we're going to have a little
we're good.
Port
We're gonna,
or something. A little port?
yeah.
Little,
Got some Porto?
yeah.
What do you
sure,
got?
You have an Armagnac? I'll have an Armagnac.
Yeah, I may not have the Armagnac. I've got a cup. I'm real nice tawny.
Bring something, Joe. You're good.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're good.
Certainly.
You know how to do that.
I'll make it so.
Yeah, good.
Yes.
I think that's something we got to check with George too. And I think it's better off to put them on a rowboat and push them out to sea. I think it makes the other pieces easier.
From a sales to the commission standpoint.
No, you don't. What do you think?
Well, I can't disagree with that. I mean, we're talking about reducing residential anyway.
Right.
That takes 1,400 units away automatically.
Right.
Just boom, gone. Take the other 600 single family, spread those out,
Yep.
reduce those,
And
make them bigger lot, reduce the multifamily to make room for more light industrial.
And I think you just got to do the.
We do a new site plan.
Well, I think what you have to do is X number vests in 5 years, Y number vests in 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, whatever.
Yeah, that's good planning.
Yeah, because it means shit.
I mean, it's good planning in this environment.
But it means nothing. We're issuing 121 building permits last month.
That's my point.
That's what I'm saying.
That's my point. The market's going to control itself.
Right. So my recommendation to everybody is basically, you got zero risk when you do this. And it makes it very sellable.
Yeah, I don't care if you're giving the lots away
Right.
in this environment. The old adage is, even if it's for free, I don't want it because I don't want to pay taxes on it.
Right.
And you theoretically could be paying taxes for 5 years. In some areas, there's 9 years worth of inventory. 9 years.
We got more than that.
No, I'm saying in Duval.
Right.
Some places there's 9 years worth of inventory.
I'm gonna hit the head quick.
Go.
That's it.
Go. It's a bitch getting old.
It is.